Jukabog and Sanjiri style.
Sounds like it might.
I think he might indeed. Worst matchup and why?
Alex Bertoncini.
Duke
So,
Reid. Duke Reid. He has been given a title.
Yeah. Sir Reid.
Raoul Duke.
Yeah. And now he's just Reid Duke. I kind of think he may have just been better off leaving it Duke Reid Duke. Maybe he may have appreciated that and getting the title. But here we have on the left Alex Bertoncini versus Reid Duke on your right in the quarterfinals of the StarCityGames.com Open Series here in Boston. The legacy portion, Alex Bertoncini playing Merfolk as always. His go-to.
You're listening right now. That dulcet voice you're hearing, Joey Pasco. I'm Adrian Sullivan. Turn 1, Reid Duke is a Scalding Tarn, and turn 1, Alex Bertoncini is an island into a Merfolk cut purse.
Isn't that the curse catcher?
Oh, curse! Why did I say Merfolk cut purse?
I don't know what a Merfolk cut purse is.
Curse catcher. Oh my goodness, it's been a long day. I don't even know if there is a Merfolk cut purse.
I know. I'm kind of curious.
There's many cut purses. I don't know if there are any Merfolk cut purses.
Just the Demir and the Rishadan cut purse, both of which one is a spirit, one's a human pirate. So
man, the Rishadan cut purse is a saucy one. And Demir cut purse, that was in my old vintage deck. So
yeah. That was one of my favorite cards out of Ravnik at the pre-release day. I was trying to trade for it, but I only walked out of there with Dark Confidence, which now, in hindsight, was just fine.
Brainstorm comes out. You can play both of those in the same deck, you know.
That's true. Yeah, I remember trading at the pre-release, and I remember walking out with 4 Dark Confidence and 4 Temple Gardens as like the cards I had traded for.
Now Alex Bertoncini here. He is definitely looking to close the gap between him and Jerry Thompson today. If he is able to get a win here, he will go to 121 points, plus whatever he picked up yesterday. And he could be very well knocking on the door of the Player of the Year race with Jerry Thompson. Right now we're waiting for Reid Duke, or Duke Reid Duke, to resolve that brainstorm and go to his turn 2.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if Jerry played today in Legacy. He was
days for the Tarmogoyf.
Days for the Goyf.
And I think Reid Duke Reid Duke is okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did Jerry T play in the Legacy portion today, or was he drafting?
I'm pretty sure he did some events today.
Yeah, he was here. Just don't know what he was playing.
Wasteland.
So Wasteland on the tropical island.
So it's a curse catcher in play versus a volcanic island at the end of this turn. Turn 3, Reid Duke plays a forest and a Green Sun Zenith for 1. Curse Catcher takes care of that. Now it's Forest Volcanic Island versus nothing.
Yeah. Well, we do know Alex does have an island in hand, which he returned with the days.
Alex asks a card question. How many cards you got? Lays maybe an island, maybe a Mutavault. What's he gonna go with? Lays Island Aether Vial. Says go, if that resolves even. Reid Duke thinks for a moment. I think he says okay. Reid Duke untaps.
Aether Vial's one of the better cards in the Merfolk deck.
I almost imagine Aether Vial as a card that Alex might potentially sideboard out if he's desperate for cards, because he really feels like he needs to fit in a whole bunch of cards.
Yeah.
I mean, Aether Vial is huge mana for Alex. The mana value of an Aether Vial is absolutely insane. But I mean, chopping out Merfolk is hard, and he said that he's not sure what to take out. Maybe you start just kind of pulling your hair out and wondering, well, maybe this is a crazy idea, but go with it. Merfolk Sovereign I would take out first. Kira the Great Glass Spinner is another one. You've got Green Sun Zenith for 2. This one works.
Expect maybe a
Tarmogoyf, probably.
Yeah. Now our prediction for this matchup was that Reid Duke was going to take this one down, but you know, Alex is going to definitely try to make it a fight.
Yeah, I mean, just because Alex thinks this is a terrible matchup doesn't mean he's not going to try to win. Lord of Atlantis hits play for Alex Bertoncini.
Not
you get an untap.
Not the 7th edition foil ones that we saw earlier.
That looks like a time spiral one, perhaps?
Extended art. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I tried to make sure when I played it, I want to make sure it was one that she signed. So you guys, I'm sure you had to pick out the single.
We didn't.
I didn't care. Well, I wanted to hold them out for the thing, so I could see if they would let me.
Reid Duke contemplating his hand. Tarmogoyf is such a huge threat in this matchup. A Wooded Foothills can instantly get a Dryad Arbor should Reid Duke want one.
Thank you. All right, now we have the deck lists here. I don't think there are any surprises for us. We've seen them both earlier. Oh, cool. Oh, let me leave them there for now. Yeah.
Here.
Thanks.
Just gonna quick glance at it.
Yeah.
What do we have? Vendilion
Okay.
Click takes a glance. Kira, Merfolk Reegery, and a Curse Catcher.
There's a Mutavault there, but Reid deep in the tank.
Wow. Yoni Skolnick in the other match does have Bojuka Bog and Sajiri Step main.
That's awesome. That's those cards with Knight of the Reliquary just seems they just go hand in hand.
Okay, so Vendilion Click still looking at Kira, the Great Glass Spinner, Merrill Reegery,
Yeah.
Mutavault, and Curse Catcher.
Reid trying to decide. So Curse Catcher goes to the bottom. Alex gets the card off the top.
Now that Curse Catcher might not be a clock in any sense of the word, but what it is a means to stop natural order.
Yeah. So Reid lays a Taiga off of the Wooded Foothills. Now the other scary thing for Reid anyway is that he's not just playing against a Merfolk deck. He's playing against one of the better Merfolk players.
This is true. This is true. A Chain Lightning taking out the Lord of Atlantis. No pressure on Alex's side of the board. Mutavault comes down, makes a Reegery happen. Oh, pardon me, makes a Kira the Great Glass Spinner happen. Let's see what that does, looking at it. A little bit of reedy. Reid is reading it. Wah, wah. Reid draws. Both of those bash in, Tarmogoyf and Vendilion Click. Kira, considering a trade with Vendilion Click, does it.
Yeah.
Tarmogoyf cracks in, getting a good hit in. Dryad Arbor hitting play from Reid Duke's hand.
And he passes the turn. Alex untaps, draws, and believe it was an island off the top.
Taps his Aether Vial,
yeah.
puts into play a Miro Reegery. This can develop some mana for him. Or at least give a discount to anything cheaper he has. That Mutavault has already been in play, so it could come in as a 3/3.
Certainly could.
Casts a Coralhelm Commander targeting an island. That untap will happen unless a Stifle stops it.
Yeah.
And he's going to cast a Curse Catcher, untapping an island. Empty-handed now. 3 mana available. He's got Coralhelm Commander, which he levels. Coralhelm Commander is now level 1. Levels again. Oh, no, Mutavault comes in, cracks in for 3. Now, next turn, Alex can turn that Coralhelm Commander into a level 4, giving him 2 effective lords, a Reegery and a Coralhelm Commander.
So, Alex with a really reasonable-looking board position. Although Tarmogoyf on the other side of the table is something of a threat to that board position.
Miro Reegery, of course, does have a tap ability as well as the untap. So a single Merfolk, even if it were to get countered, would knock out Reid's defenses.
Yeah.
However, Alex, empty-handed, also does not have a way to stop natural order if that were to come down, other than swarming around it, of course.
Yeah, pretty much.
To the air is a reasonable thing for that Coralhelm Commander to do here. Currently a 3/3 because of the Merfolk Reegery. it could very easily become a 5/5. 3 mana. Is it going to be another Reidry?
It is.
That is another Reidry untapping a Mutavault. Does that resolve? He's like untaps his land while Reid Duke thinks about Marrow Reidry.
Thank you very well.
It appears to have
It
resolved.
resolves.
and
Coral
then,
Helm Commander becomes a
level for
6/6 to
Coral
the
Helm.
air. That means 6/6 in the air. We've got Reidrys now, which are each 4/4. Curse Catcher, which is 3/3. A huge amount of damage that is going to take out Reid Duke next turn pretty much no matter what Reid does.
Yeah, it's, I guess maybe it doesn't matter, but didn't he viled in a Reidry last turn? Did he add it? I mean, did he not want to just vial in the Reidry this time? Why did he even pay mana for it?
I don't have an answer for you there.
Yeah.
Off the screen, he's casting another spell. I can't quite see what it is. That's a Merfolk Sovereign.
Sovereign. This is Lords
2
of
Reidrys,
Atlantis,
taps down
all-
the creatures, and unless Reid Duke has a Cryptic Command in his hand,
This is-
zing,
yeah,
that's
wow.
it.
So Alex just completely puts the beats onto Reid Duke that game. Reid only able to really produce a Dryad Arbor and a Tarmogoyf, but that is it's not enough. Alex just overwhelms him.
Going to the sideboards. Now, Alex didn't feel very comfortable with this matchup, but I mean, what he did here is he just played Merfolk, right?
Yeah, he just
And
had gas. Yeah.
what does Merfolk do? Puts out Lords and then makes everything a huge monster.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, there was a Tarmogoyf on one side of the board and about 5 or 6 Tarmogoyfs on the other side.
I had no idea what I was
As
doing.
far as the power was concerned. It was, I mean, having he had 2 Reidrys, a Merfolk Sovereign, a Coral Helm Commander, so 4 Lords. Pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, he had 4 Lords out of his 4, 8, 10. You know, he's got a couple Lords in there. There's a couple more in there somewhere.
So Rashad has just pointed out that there is a surprise Twitter contest.
Oh my goodness, what is the surprise?
We are giving away 3 months of StarCityGames.com premium membership. If you tweet your answer to the trivia question we're going to give you at the hashtag SCG Premium.
I definitely am confident about the trivia question I think will be asked. We'll be tweeting this to the SCG Premium.
So
and
if you have a question, I will type
yeah,
it up and we can tweet it.
Nicholas Malatesta is not on screen right now. He's in the top 8 of this Star City Games Legacy event. What tribe is Nicholas Malatesta playing in this top 8? What tribe of creatures is he playing in this top 8? A little hint, it is not the insect tribe.
Nice hint. That's the first guess I was going to give, but luckily I'm not eligible for this contest. Let me get the spelling of his name correctly really quick. Oh, good. I got it right on the first try. All right. So anyway, their Merfolk Swarm took Reid down in that game. So here in game 2, as we were saying earlier, not only does Reid have access in the sideboard to Kitchen Finks, he's got 2 copies of Umezawa's Jite, which we saw Reid use to great effect against a Merfolk deck in round 1, game 2. And not only that, but he has
2 red elemental
2
blasts,
red elemental blasts, a pyroblast.
I think he's going to bring in a flame slash.
I was going to say maybe
Yeah.
Flame Slash would be worthwhile.
I
You
mean,
know, takes out one of the lords and
One of the problems once you get a point where there are 3 lords in play is you got 4 forts to deal with, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
A flame slash takes care of that problem, and then your bolts can clean up afterwards.
yeah. So that's a lot of cards to bring in, though. I mean, as a possibility. So if he brings in Kitchen Finks, 2 Jite, the 3 blasts, and a Flame Slash, that's 7 cards. So maybe he doesn't bring in so many, but I mean, what does he take out for 7 cards?
I think Vendilion Click is actually weak in this
Yeah?
matchup.
Okay.
There's so much redundancy from his opponent's deck that Vendilion Click is basically a 3-mana peak. I don't know that that's sufficient.
Okay, so that's 4 cards. He needs to shave 3 more out somewhere.
I also think that Daze is potentially quite weak.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, Force of Will and the Red Blasts are useful because you can protect your natural order from happening. The Daze is probably not going to protect your natural order from happening.
Fair enough. I get that logic. That makes sense. And then Alex.
It's good for me.
Alex, I honestly, if Alex doesn't know what he's sideboarding in or out, I don't want to try to make much of a guess here. He said he had 13 cards he could sideboard in, or 12, I should say.
It'd be nice if Sower of Temptation could take a Progenitus, but it can't.
Sower can take a Tarmogoyf.
It
Sower
can.
can take a Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, I mean, it is relevant, but...
Sower costs 4 mana against a deck with Burn. It's a hard call. I mean,
make him waste the burn on a Sower.
I know he's bringing in 2 Lawan.
Makes
I
sense.
bet he'll bring in 2 Umezawa's Jitte because he's seen Umezawa's Jitte from Reid Duke. And even if Umezawa's Jitte is only okay against Reid Duke's creatures, Umezawa's Jitte is pretty good against Reid Duke's Umezawa's Jitte.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bet that the Merfolk Sovereigns and the Kira come out. That's 4 cards. After that, I'm really not sure where to say.
Yeah, and apparently Alex wasn't either, so he's gonna do his best guess here.
2 Umezawa's Jittes and 2 Lawans. That means he gets to maintain the integrity of his Merfolk deck and still be a Merfolk deck. Remember, when you've got linear decks like you have, let's say, with Affinity, with Goblins, other tribes, it's often very dangerous to do much sideboarding, because if you do, you can simply cease to be the deck you once were.
So looks like both players happy with their hands, and Reid Duke leads off with, I believe it was a fetch land. I can't see, it's under the word finals next to the word quarter there for quarterfinals, but he fetches into a tropical island. And a turn 1 Noble Hierarch from Reid Duke. Turn 1 Aether Vial from Alex Bertoncini. He did not side them out, at least not all of them.
Yeah, well, like I said,
It
that was a
crazy
wild
idea,
card.
right.
Wah! And in the end, I think it's probably going to be the 2 Merfolk Sovereign, 2 Kira that he sides
Yeah,
out.
I mean, we saw the Vial do some work for him in Game 1. And being able to vial out a Reidry, and then he could use that mana for some other things, like
Vial is
lords.
his Bird of Paradise.
So a Ponder from Reid Duke.
You're gonna tell me at this point, okay?
Thinking, pondering, to be more exact.
Intimidating you?
And he puts him back, draws a card, and plays a Taiga.
Yep.
And in with the Hierarch.
Taps the 2 lands, maybe lays Umezawa's Jitte, see if that works.
Umezawa's Jitte from Alex,
Says
and
go.
passes the turn. Now, right now, it's that Jitte is kind of like a seal of Jitte, right? You know, the preemptive one to keep Reid from being able, if he plays his own.
Well, the Aether Vial could sneak out a Curse Catcher.
Yeah, that's where I was headed. I was thinking, it looks like that's all that is right now, but that's enough to keep Reid off of a Jitte. And if Reid doesn't have an answer for it, vialing in a creature to pick up the Jitte could be really big for Alex here in Game 2. Wooded Foothills from Reid.
1 mana. Pardon me, attack for 1.
Yeah.
Alex, at the end of the turn, pumps up that Aether Vial. They almost made Aether Vial and Mercadian Masks, but then they decided that it would be too good, so they made it really bad and printed it instead.
Yeah, I'm confused. There's a Merfolk, or a a Silvergill Adept.
A Merfolk Silvergill.
Merfolk Silvergill. I know exactly what it does, but what its name is. But
there's a Lord of Atlantis to join it.
So, Vilden Silvergill Adept and a bought and paid for Lord of Atlantis comes down alongside a Wasteland, which looks like it's going to do some damage to that Taiga as Alex decides, okay, he hit the tropical island after throwing the Wasteland behind himself.
Reid Duke not looking happy about this position. Brainstorm.
Yeah, tries to get a little bit of value out of that tropical island before losing it to the Wasteland. This is pretty interesting, considering how Reid handled Merfolk so handily in round 1. He seems to be on the back foot here.
Cards back on top for that. The Brainstorm in the yard first, then spends a red, burn, Lightning Bolts, Lord of Atlantis, and then the Wasteland resolving, Tropical Island finally in the yard. Untap. Dryad Arbor.
Could be just a chump blocker at the moment. Gerard won. Gerard won 2-0. That's
your prediction was correct.
Yeah, blind guess there. It was a really fast match, 2-0 in the time. In the time it's taken Alex to just play a game and a half against Reid Duke, and Alex has a pretty aggressive deck himself. So,
oh, look at that look!
I love watching Alex play. He goes through such a range of emotions, and I kind of wonder though. It almost feels like he likes to get into this persona of this kind of hardened, character, and then other times he looks like he's having a blast. And it's just very funny to watch him. It's entertaining.
Reid Duke doesn't look happy.
Neither did Alex, so not sure whose poker face is genuine. There are no Merfolk in play right now.
This is the kind of situation where I feel like Alex was afraid of Reid Duke, but I think perhaps he might have thought that Reid had more burn spells than Reid really has.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen much. There was a bolt, I believe. Yeah, there's the bolt in the yard. Or is that... Yeah, it's a bolt. 2 bolts, I believe. So, Reid replaces his wasted tropical island with a fetch land, and at the end of Alex's turn, and now plays a volcanic island, and again, is that natural order? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he tapped the Dryad Arbor and the Hierarch.
Big frowns on Alex's side.
2 lands, natural order for a Progenitus. And Alex vials in a Coral Helm Commander at the end of turn.
Coral Helm is going to have to go to the air and have some help
Yeah.
to be able to beat this. Even with a in the air and with a Jit, I think it's pretty rough for him. He's only got 2 islands in play. Equips the Jite. Should say that properly. Says go. Oh,
And there's
Pyroblast.
Pyroblast from Reid.
Oh, frowny face. And he
Goes to the
sadly
yard.
puts it in the yard. Untap. Attacking for 11 will be a pleasant experience for this Progenitus. Maybe for 12 if he can find another Noble Hire.
Yeah, so Reid is pondering.
What will I do?
Just trying to see what kind of options he has before deciding to just swing in with the Progenitus.
The obnoxious combination.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Amusingly, that is the Merfolk Ponder.
Yeah. From Lorwyn Block.
What is that Aether Vial at?
I think it's at 2 right now because it vialed in the Coral Helm Commander the end of Reid's last turn.
There's a Lord of Atlantis.
And that looks to be what Alex is doing here as well.
Now, for this Lord to work out, what's going to have to happen is the Lord's going to have to survive. It's going to have to equip the Umezawa's Jit, and another Lord is going to have to come into play. Or else, it's all not going to work out. Vendilion Click. Let's check and see what you got there, Alex. That's enough for Alex. I don't want to show you.
All right, going to Game 3. Alex Bertoncini versus Reid Duke here in the quarterfinals of the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Boston. Alex, not a big fan of this matchup, but did manage to take Game 1. But Reid comes back with some of his sideboard hate in Game 2 to take that one down. So we're going to find out momentarily who will advance to the semifinals. I'm Joey Pasco, joined by Adrian Sullivan.
Hello, hello.
And we've been having a blast today watching all this Legacy action.
Now, besides Legacy being my favorite format of all time, it's really cool being out here in the Boston area because there are a lot of old faces that were around. I'm kind of sad that some of the people out there in this rough area of the country, the upper East Coast, right, didn't come out. I feel like, somebody like a John Becker, I would have loved to see an old, hand like that come out here and try out the draft challenge. Day 2 draft challenges are awesome. Darwin Castle won the first draft challenge today. And it could have been someone like, a John Becker. It could have been somebody like a Richie Frangiosa. The other locals that we saw, Brian Kibler kind of, broke out here in this area. He doesn't live in this area anymore, but he did come out to visit his family and play some Magic. We had a bunch of other names that are out here. Mike Bergoli, for all of you old school players, he was out here. Josh Ravitz took the trip, I believe, from New York City. Noah Swartz is currently out here for school, so if you're a GG's Live fan, Noah Swartz of the Chicago area, he definitely has done some GG's Live work, and now he's out here in the Boston area. There was a Melissa DeTora and Brian Lynch sighting yesterday at the very least, and numerous other players as well. Tony Teapup Paglioka, I always say his last name wrong because Italian last names, there aren't very many Italians in Wisconsin. I'm not gonna lie.
Just not used to it, out of practice.
Now here we have several players that are, 2 players here, quite a bit younger than most of those players whose names I mentioned, some of whom are touching on their 40s. I believe Darwin Castle, Hall of Famer, is if he's not in his 40s, he's touching on it.
He's getting there.
Alex Bertoncini here, young man playing Merfolk. Reid Duke playing No Rug Burn is what we're calling it. He probably has a name for it himself, and that might get popularized when he writes about it. He does write for Star City Games as well as Alex Bertoncini.
Yep. Both, I think, on the select side.
Yeah, so if you are up for getting some some free Star City games. You can read both of these gentlemen right here. On the other hand, at the end of this match, one lucky person out there will be getting 3 free months of premium if they answered correctly the trivia question that was posed earlier at the hashtag SCG Premium, where gifts await you. 3 free months of premium for one lucky Twitterer out there. Alex Bertoncini. This match means, I think, a lot more for him because of just the Star City Games player race.
Mm-hmm. He is trying to stay to catch up to Jerry T.
Yeah, Jerry Thompson came into this weekend with a slight edge, and Alex wanting to try to bridge that gap. They give each other a friendly shake for this game 3. It's a thing I'm always a fan of. Shake before game 1, shake before game 3.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Now, interestingly enough, Alex playing Merfolk all the time, famous for playing Rug in Standard and Jund in Standard. The name of his column is Advice from the Fae, and I'm not sure. I should ask him about that.
Well, he used to be a fairy player.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what it is. It's just one of those things.
Island. Full art island. Wooded foothills. Reid knows there are no stifles to be found here, but he does politely offer the opportunity for Alex to do something.
And a forest from Reid Duke.
Forest perhaps leading into a Noble Hierarch would be my expectation with that opening.
And let's see.
Noble Hierarch.
Good call.
There aren't very many choices for him for it, so not a... Turn 2, Island, Lord of Atlantis. This is exactly what Alex wants, is he wants to have the Lord of Atlantis on turn 2. The thing about an Aether Vial draw for Alex, the Aether Vial draw, it does get him around potential counterspells, but it's also often a slightly slower draw than a turn 1 Curse Catcher, turn 2 Lord of Atlantis. Turn 1 Aether Vial is great, of course, but we got a Ponder here.
Ponder off of the Hierarch. Reid a little hesitant maybe to play islands, or maybe just doesn't have his land drop that he needs, and that may be what he's digging for here.
I am kind of wondering what the land situation is.
Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't have an answer for that Lord, then he's certainly reluctant to play out an island.
He does only run 19 land in his deck.
Not reluctant at all, because there's a volcanic island and a second Noble Hierarch. So
that's 4 mana on the table. He can lay a land and have natural order with Daze Protection. There you see a Merfolk Reidry making that Lord of Atlantis, if it resolves, into a 3/3.
3/3. Oh, actually, the Lord is not Island Walker.
Lord itself, not Island Walker.
Right. But
access to Bolt here would be good for Reid Duke. No Bolt is almost certainly a way of saying I don't have Bolt.
Yeah.
End of turn, Pyroblast? Brainstorm?
Brainstorm. Brainstorm, yep.
Yeah. Alex is thinking about this as an opportunity to daze. There it is. There's the daze. Okay, and here we see Umezawa's Jite from Reid Duke. A Misty Rainforest is cracked to go search through the library. He's wait a second, he says. That Umezawa's Jite, give me a second to think about it. Okay, there we go. The Misty Rainforest gets a volcanic island. Now remember, with the Exalted triggers, a Noble Hierarch on the attack is a 2/3. Equipping up a Umezawa's Jite means he can then finish off that Reidry if it chooses to block. Alex just takes it 2 counters on the Umezawa's Jite. Right now, a Jite can't kill either of those lords. In theory, an attack with everything that Alex has on the table right now is an attack for 10. Is this going to be another Reidry? No? Lord of Atlantis untaps an island. Now his lords are all 4/4s. And that is going to be 4, 4, and 5. 13 damage. At 2 life now, Reid Duke needs to do something impressive here. I predict he's either going to extend the hand, look at that frowny face, extend the hand, or cast Natural Order. Even a Natural Order isn't particularly going to save his bacon here. He needs really, he needs some Pyroblasts is what he needs. Yeah. Yeah, he needs Pyroblasts. He puts down a Taiga. Attacks. He's attacking here for 2. Alex is considering a block. I think he just says take it there. Reid Duke pumps it. Not sure what the pumping does there. Or no, he just accumulates the counters. That's all he does. He could have the Pyros here. Vendilion Click. What you got?
So how many counters on that Jite?
There are 4 on the Jite.
Okay.
He can take out one of the lords. He can also gain 8 life.
Right.
Oh my goodness. That is a monster hand.
Lord Island Days.
Now, unless Reid Duke has Pyros in his hand, that's it. He needs a Pyro in his hand, or that's it.
Every creature Alex has is a lord.
Bracket, you said? We don't have either.
No.
Oh, well, we got from before the round.
One card? 2.
Now, let's pretend he has a Pyroblast in his hand, or a Red Elemental Blast. The blast there, the blast could kill one of those lords. Alex is taking a break here, just like resting. A blast here could kill one of the lords, and then there's still 3, 6, 10 damage coming in that can't be blocked, no matter, you know. Okay, let's see. Let's pretend he kills the Lord of Atlantis. Then he uses 3 tokens to kill the other Lord of Atlantis. Then there's the Marrow Reidry there. Oh man, this is so...
He's got a Mutavault too. So he took a Lord, the Marrow Reidry, out of Alex's hand.
And actually, I think there's literally no card that he can draw here to stay alive.
And
well, here, actually, Pyroblast, Lord of Atlantis. Umezawa's Jite down, other Lord of Atlantis. Let's pretend that Alex lays a Merfolk there to tap one of the 2 blockers, right? The other one will...
doesn't Mutavault just get in?
Well, then it gets in, but he will only take 3 damage from the Mutavault.
Oh, because
the last counter from the Umezawa's Jite will keep him alive.
I see. There's Coral Helm Commander.
Okay. Coral Helm Commander. And did he target an untap there, or did he target a tap down? An untap. Okay.
An untap, okay. And 3 for a
Merfolk
Sovereign,
Sovereign.
which we knew he had in his hand. He just top decked the. So basically, Reid Vendilion clicked away a Lord, and Alex just replaced it with a Coral Helm Commander, which is another potential Lord. Still probably an upgrade. I mean,
Yeah.
for better for Reid that he's got to pay to make this one a Lord. But that's a lot of Lords.
1, 2, 3, 4, and
4.5.
potential Lord.
4.5, yeah. 4 for now.
And
So he's got something here. There's
lightning
a
bolt.
lightning bolt.
And days.
Days for that.
So
So
that's
he's gonna
it.
pay for the days.
So, stage 4 versus.
He
Minus how much? 1? Minus
Yeah, there's nothing there for you, Reid.
3, 4 damage.
yeah, that's
That extra Lord just pumps up things just enough so that even with the play that I was talking about before, it doesn't quite
it doesn't work. Yeah,
He's a 4/4, so he's dead.
yeah. I'm a little bit. He pointed at both the Sovereign and the Lord of Atlantis there a little bit, but I think maybe they were just counting the pumps happening. But so he bolts and uses a GT counter to, or at least he bolts and uses GT counters, plural, to take out that Lord of Atlantis. Was that right? It was a 2/2, so it was a 5/5, right? So the bolt plus 2 GT counters needed to happen. So the other 2 GT counters, no.
Alex
I'm-
attacks with the
Yeah.
retreat. Yep. It was a lot of finagling.
Yeah. Woo,
Okay, so
Alex
that was
Bertoncini.
insane.
Oh, look at he's smile.
Suddenly
so